Hey guys, welcome back to Lady Poe Designs. It's Erin. I hope y'all are doing well. I've got a couple of projects. The first one is a Christmas centerpiece done with all Dollar Tree products. And the second is a wood round that is a faux bleached flannel. I thought was pretty cool. It turned out really neat. I like the way it turned out. I hope y'all enjoy it. Let's dive right on in. So I've got the Dollar Tree ornaments, just the plastic ones, and I'm using the Blitz mold and some air dry clay. So I'm gonna make some snowflakes. I do some with the reindeer, with the bells. I use quite a few molds in this. I use some of the trim molds. But we're just gonna get some snowflakes out really quick. I know y'all know how to do molds by now. You just use the cornstarch, smash it into the mold. I'm gonna use the actual ornament to cut out the middle of the snowflake, kind of like a cookie cutter. So I'm gonna cut out a little circle, and then I'm gonna put glue on the ornament itself, as well as the back of the clay. And then we're gonna lay that over kind of like a tree skirt. Y'all have probably seen these done before, but I've never done them, and I think they turned out really pretty. So we're just gonna lay that down flat, press out all the bubbles. And we're gonna repeat that with the second one. I'm gonna do that with all of them. I got this size, I got the large ones, I got the medium size ones, all of them. We're going to take tarnished pearl and just do a light coat, kind of like a primer, if you will, on all of them. So here I'm just making the entire mold because I did quite a few ornaments that I did not end up using. But I did quite a few of them. There's the big ones. I did the big snowflake on that one and just laid it right across the top and glued it all down, made sure the edges were glued down, and did a coat of the tarnished pearl on that as well. On some of them, I used the trimming mold. So some of them just have like a band going around them. I used I think it's the number 2, if I'm not mistaken. It's the one with the little leaves, and then the one right beside it. But I used a different kind of clay this time. I used the Paperclay that comes in a black package. I can't remember the name of it, but it actually worked pretty well. I liked it. It was easier on my hands. I have rheumatoid arthritis, and this was actually really easy to work with. But that's the trimming mold. I love how they piece together like puzzle pieces. So I just wrapped a band around some of them. Made sure all the little edges were down, and I coated those with the tarnished pearl as well. Just as, like I said, as a primer. Of course, had to get the dog hair out. Y'all, I got dog hair on everything. If there is clay, there's gonna be dog hair in it. I don't know if y'all have that issue, but whew, especially working with these ornaments with the plastic, it was like a magnet. Oh my gosh. So I'm gonna take Marquee and salt wash. Love it. And I'm gonna make kind of like I'm showing you right there, it's kind of like a frosty consistency. And I'm going to coat all of them and give them like a gritty texture. Not really big time texture, but just a good texture. And then I'm going to seal that in with Big Top. I fast forwarded through all of the painting. I figured y'all know how to paint, so I'm going kind of fast. And then I'm going to take the golden ticket and I'm just going over the molds with the gold. And then I'm taking a paper towel and wiping it off. So it's basically, it's almost like the wax. I'm letting it settle in all of the grooves and then wiping it off. And then I'm going in with the dark and the light, the dark and the clear wax, and it kind of makes it look antiqued. So I did that with all of them. So now I'm getting 4 of the Dollar Tree Christmas trees. I'm going to take the base off and glue the bottom of that down because it kind of looks like it was trying to unravel. But I'm going to spread the little limbs out just to one side, and you'll see why. I'm putting 2 on each side, so it's going to be fuller. So I'm laying them next to each other. With it being a centerpiece, I didn't need it to go, you know, fuller the other way, so I just need to fluff it one way. But I'm going to zip tie 2 of them together in the middle, right at the base, and I flip it over, yeah. And then the 2 ends, I'm going to zip tie those, so there's 3 holding 2 of them together. And I do that to the other one as well. And then I have the 3 reindeer. It was white, but this is one of the $3 centerpiece things from Dollar Tree. I spray painted it black, but I'm going to put that in the middle, and I'm just going to wrap a couple of the limbs because they're wire. So I'm just going to wrap a couple of the limbs around the little dowel rods that the deer are on, and it connects it, and it's pretty solid. So now I'm going to take those ornaments that I made, and I don't use all of them, but I'm just threading them just like I'm decorating the tree. I'm just going to basically mirror it. Where I put one, I'm going to put one on the other side. Where I put one on the end, I'm going to put one on the other end. And then I used the real dark burgundy velvet poinsettias from Dollar Tree, the real pretty ones. I used those because I just love that dark maroon. And I'm going to really fast forward this because, y'all, I am no florist. I just started sticking stuff places. And just, if it looked good to my eye, then I put it in. And these are all Dollar Tree picks. So I've got some gold berries. I've got some of the white frosted tips. I tried to change up some of the greenery as well. I tried to mix some of different greenery in there, just to change it up a little bit. Those are whole picks. Those are actually from Walmart. Those are like the $1.99 ones that were so pretty. But I just kept sticking different ones. I got some frosted eucalyptus in there. I literally just kept sticking stuff in there until it was full and I didn't see any more holes. And the good thing about it is those trees work just like the grapevine wreaths. Like, they hold everything. You don't have to hot glue anything. And this is how it turned out. I think that this is so pretty. It turned out really cool. I love the ornaments. I love that they look kind of vintage compared to all the new florals. And of course, who doesn't love the reindeer? But tell me what y'all think. So the second one, we've got a wood round for our front door. And I've got a piece of It's not flannel, it's kind of faux flannel, but I did a layer of Mod Podge and I'm going to iron that onto the wood round. I've never done this before and I was very interested in trying it. It's kind of like a faux bleaching of a flannel, if you will. So I cut it off to where you could still see the wood and took my zip sander and kind of sanded the fabric to where it would fray. And then I took some sandy blonde, tarnished pearl, and white swan. And y'all, I just went to splatter painting. I got an old wood dowel and watered the paint down, and I just kept going until I thought it looked good. This is what, oh no, I didn't do tarnished pearl, it's crinoline, I'm sorry. I tried to pick all the real creamy colors because, you know, when you bleach, it obviously takes the color out. But I would take a paper towel and dab it in, dry it, and then I would take 50% water, 50% top coat, or big top, excuse me, and spray that and then dry it to where the paint would be dry because I didn't want them to mix. I still wanted like the defined dots. So, because you know, when you spray it with bleach, you're going to get that real round dot of bleach. It's not going to smear into another color. So I just kept going and kept going until I thought it looked bleached. And so, see, sometimes I dotted it on there and I rubbed that in with the paper towel and then dried it. Y'all, this was a process. It was a process, but it was fun. I had it all over my hands, and y'all know how I like doing that. I was living. I loved it. And I think it turned out really cool. I also took the retro letters, the letter stamps, and used resin and made resin letters out of those. I didn't show that, but I just poured a very thin layer of resin in those because they do have a little bit of indentation where you can pour resin into them. You can also use hot glue if you don't have resin. But I laid those out to see if it was wide enough yet, and it wasn't. So I had to keep going. And then I laid down the white swan to really bring out like that full-on bleach color. And that was when I went in with my fingers. I had to do it. You know I had to do it. I can't not use my hands. I just have to. But I just kept going until I thought it looked right. So I took those letters and I painted every other one marquee and then every other one Monet's Garden, the real dark emerald green, what I think is like a real Christmas green. So you have the M, the E, the RRY, you have every other one, the red and the green. And then I'm also taking the farmhouse or the farm stamps, the letters. I think it's called farm lettering. And spelling the Christmas on the bottom. And I decided to do that one the same way. So I did every other letter, the marquee, and every other letter, the Monet's Garden. So I pick them up with the thin mount, straighten them out, and then I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I'll do every other one. So I got my little dauber, picked off some dog hair. Y'all, it's everywhere, I'm telling you. Do y'all have that issue? Do y'all that have pets, seriously, do y'all have that? Does dog hair get in the paint, in the clay, everywhere? Especially when you're using the stamps. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm going to lay that down, and I put a healthy amount of paint on this because this is going on fabric. Even though I did seal that with Big Top, this is going on fabric. So I put a healthy amount of paint on here, and I make sure to rub with my finger over every single letter pretty firmly, but I am putting a pretty good amount of paint on here. But through each layer, I did spray that big top because I was so afraid that those were gonna run together and I wasn't gonna be able to stamp on it, but it actually worked out really well. I was able to stamp on it very easily. So I'm gonna lay this down and press that in, and got my exclamation point. I press that down, and I'm sorry I didn't record gluing down the Mary and the bow, but I added a bow and some greenery with just some berries. But I love the way it turned out. I actually think it does look like a bleached flannel. What do y'all think? Tell me what y'all think in the comments. Let me know which one was your favorite. This was technically 3 projects, but not really, but it was. I'm counting it as 3, okay? Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to like, share, and subscribe if you have not. And remember, you are beautiful and you can do hard things. Bye!